really think you're that much better than me?
Oh, I think we both know the answer to that.
Today's video is all about pride. And at one point or another, for most of us, we've struggled with the spirit of pride and didn't even know it. I want to give you some signs on how to identify the spirit of pride, how to spot it even in other people when dealing with them, so you know exactly how to deal with them. We're going to get into all that and more. But first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Creating Elude Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. I want to first start with the premise that in Isaiah 14, verse 12 to 15, it says, Satan was cast out of heaven because of pride, right? Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. And that's Proverbs 16, verse 18. A couple more scriptures that talks about pride is Proverbs 11, verse 2. It says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. And Proverbs 29, verse 23 says, a man's pride brings him low, but a man of lowly spirit gains honor. And last one, Proverbs 16, verse 18 to 19 says, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Better to be lowly in spirit and among the oppressed than to share plunder with the proud. So these are a couple Bible verses on pridefulness. There's many examples in the Bible of pridefulness, many verses and stories where we can gain knowledge and wisdom in that regard. So it's something that God knows men have dealt with. And pride, the need for fame, the need to be in his own will, all of those things was what led Lucifer to be cast out of heaven. And thus here is all of our problems. So it's a very tricky spirit, a very prideful spirit. And pride, why it's so important, is one of those spirits that makes itself a home inside of people's bodies and give them so much pride that they don't want to come to God. Pride will keep you from God. There's a lot of atheists that because of the pride, of admitting that they were wrong, let it forfeit them from coming to Christ. Or other people that are idol worshiping in these religions where they're praying to idols and stuff made of stones, culty things and stuff, or the occult world and witchcraft and voodoo and all of that stuff. Because of pride, they'll still stick it out and fight because my way is the right way. I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. I know what I'm talking about. And I know more than God, right? So it is one of those spirits that the enemy uses to keep people from deliverance and to find Christ. So let's get into the traits, because there is 9 ways you can spot if you struggle with the spirit of pride, with number 1 being, if we see ourselves as spiritually better than others, we're caught in the grip of spiritual pride. Pride is at work whenever we come to believe we're in control of our spiritual journey, rather than deepening our trust in God. When we start to feel like only we got the word of God and others don't, that is a prideful spirit, right? So you can notice that it comes even in the body of Christ, because pride started in heaven where they were in front of God himself and life was perfect. It started in heaven. So can you imagine in the church, it would be there where you have Christians that have pride. If you see a lot of them that come off very arrogant, like they know they're spiritually at a better place than you. They're spiritually at a better place than everybody, actually. And they not teachable because you can't teach them nothing. They know for themselves, who are you? What's your credentials with God and this and that. A lot of people in the body of Christ can have the prideful spirit. I mean, again, if we're in no better position than the angels that were in heaven, 1/3 of them fell from heaven, right? Where they were in perfect harmony with Christ, pride led the way for them to fall. So if they could fall being perfect beings, imagine us who are not perfect beings, that we're susceptible to pride and able to fall. If you're in your Christian walk and you constantly feel like you're better than other Christians that you see around, like this person don't know God like I know God. They must not pray. They must not fast. They don't have this connection. Like only I hear the voice of God. Only I'm able to interpret this, that, and whatever. And you find that you're becoming more and more arrogant spiritually. That is not from God, and you need to examine yourself and notice if that spirit is from the Lord. The second thing is arrogance. You genuinely think you are better than everyone else. It's not just Christians. You don't even have to be a Christian, but in just life, you genuinely believe that you are better than everyone else, whether it's the workplace, like everything you do is better than everyone else. I don't know if I said this story in this channel before, but there was a guy that I was working with when I was in the corporate world where he just, he's a very smart guy, very crafty on how to make money, but had a spirit about him, the spirit of pride, where he said bluntly to me, boldly to me, I'm smarter than everybody else. Yeah, I know it. I know I'm smarter than everybody else. And I just look at people sometimes like, wow, people are so dumb. And he genuinely believed this. He genuinely believed that he just had extra je ne sais quoi about him, extra wisdom, extra light. And of course, I'm just smiling, looking like I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. It's like, okay. But I've encountered quite a bit of people that think like this, that believe like this. And I'm like, if there's so many people that think like this, then who truly is the smartest person? Only God. Only God. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And you can think that you're so much better than anyone, but you don't have the fear of God in you. And you're nothing. You have nothing. And those people that think that they're better than others usually tend to be, they have the most troubles. That's what I'll say. And the Lord calls us to have a humble spirit, because humility is the opposite of pride, right? When we realize that there will always be someone better than you, someone smarter than you, someone prettier than you, someone that, is just, they're blessed. Not that you're not blessed, but there just will always be someone better, something better, right? So you have to be okay with that and have contentment for where you are. But pride is the need to be that someone better all the time in every room. And there's nothing wrong with elevating yourself and growing. Like, this channel is all about leveling up mentally, physically, spiritually, to be the best version of ourselves that the Lord has made us. So when he come, he may not find us wanting. There's nothing wrong with building yourself and growing and elevating. But this should not be done with a desire to be better than everybody else, to be the prettiest, to be the smartest, to be this, that, all of that. That shouldn't be the intention. It's just every day to be better than your old self, right? So be careful with that. That's the spirit of pride. Number 3 is boastful and braggadocious. The whole world must know of your accomplishments so that they can praise you. People who suffer with the spirit of pride are very braggadocious. They're very boastful, and they're the types to not stop talking about all their accomplishments, all that they have ever done in life. And they're also the types where, I don't know, any trophies, anything. If you come to their house, their trophies, awards are at the entrance for you to see all of their accomplishments, and in glass framed cases. I'm not saying to not be proud of your accomplishments, but it makes their very life. That is the very reason why they live, is to show you those accomplishments and make it a thing. Number 4 is very self-centered and selfish. The world revolves around you, and you couldn't care less about anyone else. Main character syndrome. Even if it makes others uncomfortable, you will film your TikToks in public. That's just an example. Spaces and consume rooms where you go because you and only you are the main character. Everyone else is just extras. I use the example of TikTok. Let me say this because I saw this commentary. I can't even remember when, but it was probably last year, when this whole thing of main character syndrome came out.
Have you heard of main character syndrome? It's not an actual diagnosis, but it's a pop culture term that describes someone who presents themselves as the lead protagonist in a fictional version of their life. They make everything about them and their problems. If you share something that's happening in your life, they'll turn it around and focus the convo back to themselves. They present a false image of themselves online to sell the plot of their fictional movie. They carefully curate their online persona to reflect this perfected character that they want to project. They might even get mad at you if you post a photo of them that they think is unflattering. Psychologist Ramini Durvasula says people with main character syndrome, if they don't get the attention that they want, they actually start to deflate, which can be really unhealthy. Do you know anyone like this?
People would be enjoying a quiet time, whether it's on the train station or they're in a restaurant trying to eat. People are just trying to eat and get out. They don't want to be filmed or be background extras, or even the cringiest content to me. And I don't mean to offend anyone with this, but me personally, is when you'd see like the beautiful women or the gorgeous men have someone following them with the camera walking while they're well dressed, and then they're catching a reaction of complete strangers whom did not give them consent to even be filmed as an extra in your background to see if they're looking at you or how they're looking at you and stuff like that. I hate those type of content.
Stop filming people in public to use for content. They did not consent or opt into it. And I know traditionally if you are in a public place, you can be photographed, filmed, whatever. But that was before this insane social media virality. Second, people are not props. And lastly, we are so surveilled. We cannot leave our house without being surveilled. And now that is being used as content. And it's changing the way that we act in public. And we're just adding to this constantly surveilled state.
And someone was giving a commentary on that where it's like, it's a no consideration for others when people don't mind making noise just in the middle of a restaurant, start dancing, or a grocery store, people trying to shop, do everyday life. And this main character syndrome will hit where in this society, everyone is so self-centered and consumed. They don't care. And they'll give you the advice, don't care, go do this, that, that. Me, I could barely even take a picture in public, okay? I can barely even pose. I'm all timid with it. And I'm not saying to shrink and not be yourself or show, like, take a picture if you're in a restaurant, take your picture and stuff. But when it becomes at the point of a disturbance to others, that's pride, that's arrogance, that's self-centeredness, to where you don't care how you inconvenience people. I'm from the hood. One thing they do in the hood, people would walk around with their little beatboxes in my era, or they'd walk around with their phones just blasting the song. They walking, like jamming. Don't matter where they are, they're on the bus, they're walking. They won't lower the volume. If you're taking a city bus, they're still blasting their music. They used to ride around in the cars because our house used to be Front Street, and there'll be the low rider cars bumping the music so loud the bass would shake your windows and blasting it through the neighborhood at the crack of dawn, not caring if there's a mother who probably just had a newborn, put that newborn to sleep. It's still early. Baby's probably taking a nap, or somebody probably worked the night shift and they're trying to sleep. You don't care about none of that. You're going to blast through the neighborhood and wake everybody up with your music, right? It gives you that sense, but for them it's pride because they only consider themselves and not how they are inconsiderate for other people. Comment below if you guys are getting what I'm saying. I use the TikTok example because that's what people do with filming content and stuff, but ask for permission, especially if you're going to have a camera all up in people's face and stuff like that. That I notice people that do that usually suffer from the spirit of pride and arrogance. I do notice that. Just not considering how their actions are affecting other people. Number 5 is they're very critical of others but lack accountability for themselves. And this goes in the same where people that suffer with the spirit of pride will sit up here and think they're better than everybody else. That goes with the one where I say the guy said, I'm smarter than everybody, but won't hold themselves accountable for their shortcomings. There's always a reason why their shortcomings happen. And if you work, those are the worst type of people to work with, because especially if it's a team builder project or team project, those are the type of people that probably didn't even pull their weight, but won't take responsibility if the project fails, and will find a way to blame everyone else and hold everyone else accountable, but not see where their shortcomings were. And those are difficult people also to date, because those people never take accountability for themselves, and they're very critical of everyone else, but they almost turn a blind eye to what they do. You have to be very careful with those types. Number 6 is you're easily offended. If you're easily offended, I used to be the type of person that suffered with the spirit of offense. We're going to do that video coming up, but everything offends them. Because they feel they're superior and they're above everyone, you cannot critique them. They're not going to take the criticism well, so they're easily offended by the slightest thing. People that suffer with the spirit of pride also suffer with the spirit of rejection. If you haven't seen that video, it's in my All Things Spiritual playlist, which I'll link in a comment. And when you suffer with the spirit of rejection, it's like if the most powerful person in the room didn't greet you or say hi to you, maybe because they're so busy and distracted, you take it personally. You're offended, and that person has just become your enemy because they didn't say hi to you, and you hold it against them. Something must have happened. Somebody must have said something, And so people that suffer with this spirit, Yeah, they're easily offended by every little thing. You must cater to them all the time and walk on eggshells to make sure that you do not offend them. Number 7 is you like high positions and feel like some things are too beneath you. Like this woman who felt like her friend asking her to be a bridesmaid instead of the matron of honor is beneath her. Or since you're the manager at this company, it's beneath you to pick up trash on the floor, so you call the janitor to come do it. These people tend to fight for positions in church. They are the family members that won't care about your kids unless they are a godparent, etc. They're status hungry, right? So this is a spirit of pride also. Like if you at work, for instance, and there's a team project, they have to be the leader. They have to take control. And that's the only way they'll do it. They cannot be beneath station. They're into station, power, and a lot of rich people are very prideful. People that are status hungry. Those people tend to also be social climbers. I did a video about social climbers and the Jezebel and Delilah spirit. That's also in my All Things Spiritual playlist. Check that out. They have that spirit because they have to be in the top positions. They're the type, they won't call or care for your kids if they're not the godparent in their family. They won't check up on you unless you give them a position to make them feel included. And if you're having a wedding, you can't just simply have them as a guest. You must find something for them to do, or their seating must be at a table of honor. Those prideful people are the type to leave if they go somewhere and there wasn't a parking reserved for them. Or if you're having a party and you invited them, it's not even last minute, because say you throwing something together last minute and you genuinely inviting everyone last minute because it's last minute. You could tell, hey, I'm sorry this last minute, I just put this together. But they're so prideful, they take it as an offense. No, there's no way. You've been planning this and I'm just a last minute invite. I'm not going. They're the type that what in your planning stages of everything, they require to know or to be in position. They won't go to a church if they can't go on the stage every Saturday or every Sunday. They're the type to leave a church because they don't have a good position in it. They're the type to leave a school because they feel like they're not excelling enough above everyone else, or look for another job where they can be the queen bee, or leave a friendship group because they're not the leader of that friendship group. Other people are not bowing to them or doing as they say. They are status hungry in every situation, and how you can spot them is those people who like to take control wherever they go. They're the type, if they are new into a church, they have to come and quickly look for a position, leadership position, and try to take control of that position or department where they're at. Or that work, they come into the department, they're in their department, you'll notice that they try to always insert to have some control. And it might come off as super helpful at first if you're the leader, like you're the administrator of that branch, you're managing over everything, and they'll come and they'll suck up to you, try, let me help you with this. I can help you with this. It's the prideful spirit. They'll appear really helpful at first, but it's a way to set their footing to get full control of that department. And even in relationships, they know how to have to be the dominant one, the superior one, the alpha, whether female or male, because this spirit does not know gender. So even if it's the woman in a relationship, they already try to assert themselves and make themselves indispensable, undisposable in your life, to where they have this power over you. And it's a sense of pride for them to be in control. They're the type to utter words like, you got to love me more than I love you. You know, a lot of women suffer with this spirit they don't even know. You know, when you say, oh, the man got to love the woman more than da-da-da, because, you know, and they'll give great reasons for it, but it's all a sense of pride, and the spirit of pride, the spirit of rejection that stems from rejection. Now, number 8 is social climbers. This spirit makes you want to constantly climb up higher and higher so that you could become more boastful and more arrogant because you think you are better than. Then your friends have to look the part too. Think of Erica Banks. She doesn't want ugly friends.
Ain't a certain type of look. If she don't look how I want her to look physically, I don't want her to come. Because the look of everything is so important to me. Like, if she ain't thick enough, nope. Her not did good enough, nope. Can't dress, nope. Skinny, nope. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm discriminating. I just want a certain type of look. She could be the sweetest girl I ever met in my life, but if she don't look the part, I don't want her to come. Like, that's just not the vibe I'm on. Now, she can come to the cookout, she can come to the listening party, but the club, I feel like, gotta look a certain way to come.
You only want rich and beautiful people around you. You mistreat or disregard those you feel are lower status. Example, I had this girl unfollow me on Instagram because my looks didn't fit her Instagram aesthetic, baddie aesthetic. That was when I was in the world too. She only wanted to follow people that had a certain aesthetic and following. With people like that, allow them to go. They will try to spin the block when you start to become successful, but God already revealed them to you. Like with the Erica Banks situation, I had a friend that was just like that. And at the time, I was, I just wasn't well put together. Let's just say that I wasn't polished enough or whatever. I'd gained a little weight. It was, it was not my best era. And she was climbing up and up because they tend to have that social climbing aspect too. And it came to a point where she did this mass unfollowing, even with people that she was really cool with. I'm talking about family, friends, mass unfollowing. And it's like, wait, why did I get unfollowed? Because you notice or whatever. And this person you didn't fit their aesthetic. You did not fit their aesthetic. That was it. And they want to follow people that fit their aesthetic. That's it. Because they have to have a certain look. It's a pride. Because I'm better than, everyone around me has to be just as better than. I can't be seen sitting with whoever or any station. Like the mom in the Titanic.
And where exactly do you live, Mr. Dawson? And how is it you have means to travel?
Well, right now my address is the RMS Titanic. After that, I'm on God's good humor.
And you find that sort of rootless existence appealing, do you?
I mean, got everything I need right here with me. Just the other night I was sleeping under a bridge, and now here I am on the grandest ship in the world having champagne with you fine people. I mean, I love waking up in the morning not knowing what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet.
You have to be talking to specific people. You can't be seen at any restaurant. You can't be seen going to any old person's house or any place. Like, what? I can't just have an Android or a regular phone. I have to have, what's the most popular thing to have right now? That's what I need. I need a Stanley cup. What do you mean? I can't be caught drinking in a regular cup. Oh, this is not name brand shoes. I can't be caught living here. I can't be caught talking to this person. They're very particular about who they are around, who they have around them. And it's very sad because some of the best people you forfeit in your life because you tend to have an aesthetic. And I guarantee you, when the Lord starts to elevate you, these people will try to spin the block back. And in your way, it's just, hey, you notice, you recognize, you judge the fruits. Because we talked about judgment in my All Things Spiritual playlist. Yes, Christians should judge by their fruits and stuff. We talk about that, or check out that video. But once the Lord has shown you their fruits, and you're like, this is the type of person, usually they will want something from you. You are valued to them. They can use you. And these are the type of people that you stay away from. Even if they spin the block, you don't need validation to not be like, oh, now I'm worthy. Now I look the part, or I have enough clout for you to come back and be my friend. It's okay. You can keep it. You can keep it and just move on with your life. That's it. Move on, continue to worship and praise God and let it be. Number 9 is you reject counsel or guidance from others because of a belief that your ideas are always superior. You do not have a teachable spirit. Those people do not have teachable spirit, right? They don't like counsel. They don't like advice because they know better. It's like the young man I was working with. You could not give him advice. He knew better. His way had to be the final way because I know better. I'm smarter than everyone here. Yeah, it doesn't matter who have, this person could probably just, have a bachelor's and then you have a PhD or a master's in what you're talking about, and they still feel like they know more than you in this subject matter. And you could study something day and night, and you have all the credentials, you lived it, and they still feel superior than you. They will not take advice or counsel. They're not the type to go to their problems much with people because of pride too. So that's another thing. If you find that you have difficulty asking for help, you have a spirit of pride too because of your superiority complex. You cannot show your weakness that you need help or that, oh my goodness, right now I'm having financial problems. I could use a little help. They're the type to take it to their grave and die that way. I'd rather die before I asked anyone for help with anything. That's how bad it is, ladies and gentlemen. It gets that bad. But this is all I have for the spirit of pride. How you can get out of this spirit, of course, like I always say, is pray if you realize any of these traits you suffer with, or there might be something that you battle with in your life. Fasting and praying and asking the Lord to show you in every which way that you behave this way, and give you a meek and humble spirit, to create a new heart within you and renew a right spirit within you, and to search you so that you may be transformed and renewed. Okay. Not only that, but also start to give people chances that may not be in the look or the aesthetic or in the station that you want. Be okay with taking the back seat, taking a step back, and challenge yourself. Is it a spirit of rejection that I have in the healing process? Check out my spirit of rejection video. Then it might be a spirit of rejection that stemmed from your childhood, and just get to the root of it, and then ask the Lord to fix and to heal that for you, and all that pride will go away. I love you guys so much. Comment below what else videos you want. If you watch until the end, leave a pink heart in the comments so I know you watched until the end. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.